Hey YouTube, it's your girl Storm Blake here, back with another video today. And today we are talking about eyebrows. I'm just going to show you how I get my everyday but still dramatic eyebrows and what I do to make them look like they're microbladed. And I'm going to show you how I go from basically no eyebrows to fierce eyebrows. So I'm going to just run down the product list with you guys of all the things that I use and why I use them. So first up, we're going to talk about brushes and then products. So let's go with brushes first. The Sigma Line Perfector brush, and it looks like this. It's just an angled brush. I don't know if you guys maybe see it. My lights are kind of bright here, but it has a nice angle to it. And I use this just to map out where I want my brows to be, to give it that shape. So I use that brush for. And the second brush is a Morphe M432 brush. And this is just a square brush that's flat across, as opposed to the Sigma, which had a slanted on there. You may be asking like why you need two of these brushes, but they're totally different. And this one I use just to go across the top of the brow and map it out as well with concealer. And that gives you that sharp line right there. Then the next up, we have this Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, and it's just a regular eyebrow brush that you use to fill in. I use this to fill in product at the end, the tail end of my brow, to make it a little darker. I also use it for the spoolie end, just to brush up any hairs that I have that may be going every which way. And last but not least, certainly not least for brushes, we have this angled, I want to say it's not as dense, it doesn't really have a name on it, it's a Coastal Scents brush. I've had it forever, and I just use this angled brush to put powder product on the front of my brow. That gives it that faded look, so this brush is amazing for that. But any brush will do, any angled brush that's a little bit fluffy, that can pick up product and put it right on the front of your brow. That's going to help a lot. So, I'm going to go into product now. So, for concealers, I use two different concealer. I use the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the color Tan 50. This is really close to my skin color. So, I use that just to map out in the beginning. And you'll see in the tutorial. But I use that. And then I use the MAC Select Cover Up in a lighter shade, and that's what you see that gives you that sharp line that everybody wants and needs in their life. So I use that, and the color is NC42. It's like 2 shades lighter than my actual shade, so it's not like stand out in your face, but it's just a little highlight. And then next up we have the NYX Professional Makeup Eyebrow Pencil, and it's a waxy pencil, and this is in the color taupe, and the color taupe is kind of like grayish brown, but that's what gives me the natural look that I go for. I hate when brows are really dark. Then next up we have this Stila, what is it? It's called Stila All Day Waterproof Brows, and this is in the color dark, and it gives you that nice precise stroke to give you like actual hair strokes in there. That's why I like using this. Then the second to last thing we have is a pomade, and this pomade is by Tarte in a medium brown, and it looks like that on the inside, but I just use that along with the Anastasia Beverly Hills just to darken it up from the taupe. And the second to last thing we have is some mascara. Now this mascara is by L'Oreal, and it's called the Telescopic Mascara. And what this is good for is that it has a small, skinny, precise brush, those brow hairs that you need. Last thing that you will need for this is just a palette or some sort. And I use this. I don't want to blind you guys. It's actually like a mirror, but it's just like a mixing palette, and I put all my concealers on there and I work from that just to have something to dip into and go back onto the brow. So without further ado, let's get right on into that tutorial. So first up, I'm going to give a shout out to my niece. Hey, Kadesh. But anyways, we're going to start off with our concealer and our angled brush from Sigma. Then we're going to put the concealer just on our little tray so it's easier for us to get to. Now we're just going to map out our brows as to where they should be, but I guess God forgot about us. So we're just going to map it out and make sure it fits our face. Next up, we're going to go in with that NYX brush, but first we're going to brush up any sparse hairs that may be out of place. Get them back in line. But anyway, we're just going to fill in what should be there. So not too dark, not too light, but just give it the shape that you want. And then next we're going to go in with this Stila All Day Waterproof Felt Tip pen. And we're just going to go in lightly, giving us natural hair strokes. I'm not pressing too hard. I'm just doing little feathering motions. Next we're going to take the Morphe palette. And this, we're just going to use the powders, those two powders, for the front of our brows to give us that naturally faded look. You can't really do this with pomades or pens because they come out too harsh, but with the powder it's the right amount of softness and deepness that we need. So we just put it right there in the front. Now we're going to take away all that concealer that we just put on. And next up we have the matte concealer with the Morphe brush, and we're just going to stamp in the concealer to clean up anything that may be out of place. And this is going to give us that sharp line that we see at the end. Just stamping it in, making sure that the brows fit our face. I like to take the concealer on the top just to give it more of a slanted look as to how natural brows would grow in. So I just stamp it on the top, and we're not dragging just yet because we don't want any product to get into the brow that we just worked so hard on. Then you look, do a mirror check, make sure they're, similar and the one's not bigger than the other. And then you just start cleaning that concealer up as well, making sure it melts into the skin. And I want to give my niece a shout out because she has brows just like I do. And I'm hoping one day this will help her. She's only 9 right now, but now we're going to take our pomade from Tarte and just darken up the brows just a tad bit. We're going to take it on the Anastasia Beverly Hills makeup brush and just fill in the tail end of the brows. We don't want to go anywhere more than halfway. I like to just keep it on the arch and on the bottom and the tail, just so it's a tad bit darker. Now we're going to go back in with the Stila felt tip pen and give ourselves back that hair stroke that we may have lost. And now we're cleaning up anything that may have gone out of place because we did use quite a bit of product. This is just giving us the finishing touch. And now we're going to clean up with some Q-tips. I guess I was dancing there, playing some good music. Now I'm trying to do just a brow length check. And you can do this with a makeup brush. You take it, put it at the corner, make sure they're not too long and it's not passing your eyes or anything. So that's how you know you have the perfect length for your brow. Now we're going to take that mascara from L'Oreal and just place it on the brow hairs and make them stand up and make them come to the front of the room. Like, we want to see you, hair. So come on up. So you just take that and brush it up. That's how I do my brows every single day. Also, I'm thinking of doing an eyelash tutorial on how I get my lashes on, because I know for a long time I struggled with that. So let me know what you guys want to see. As always, I'll see you soon, YouTube. Bye.